And the floor is yours.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Lane Hubbard. I am a PhD student in computer science and a former preschool teacher. And I founded MindScribe, where our mission is to help young children explore their very own minds through imaginative storytelling. Here's a picture of something that a 3-year-old child has created. To us, it might just look like scribbles. But to her, it represents her thoughts, ideas, her emotions, and experiences. But all of those insights remain unexpressed without communication. We know that reflection is an essential part of learning. But what toys or tools support reflection in early childhood? Just like markers support making and blocks support building and books support reading, we set out to build a tool to support reflection in everyday play. Here's how it works. A young child creates something in their early childhood community. When they're ready, they pick out one of our technology-enhanced stuffed animals to tell a story to. The stuffed animal asks them questions about what they're making. How did they make it? Tell me a story about it. Why? What happened next? And they can even tell stories with their peers, their siblings, and their community. To date, we have supported 74 children, and our prototype speaks 14 languages. We've piloted in 13 homes and schools in 3 states and 2 nations, the United States and Japan, and with over 100 MindScribe stories told. We recently won the Early Childhood Innovation Prize to catalyze breakthrough impact in early childhood, especially for children in communities that are low income and high need. And here's where we need your help. We're looking for our lighthouse customers. They have strong values, they're thought leaders in their field, and they can serve as sounding boards and feedback generators as we develop and implement our prototypes in their communities. We want them to be powerful references for the impact that we have to catalyze adoption across their sector. Do you know a preschool that would be a wonderful addition to our team? Do you know a hospital that might be able to help children tell their stories about their experiences? Send us a message and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.
Okay, Lane, you came in at 3 minutes. So, what would we fill that time with? What kind of things are people still wondering about?
Demo.
You want to do a video demo?
I want to talk a little bit more about the high impact areas.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
So for instance, children who are bilingual,
Yep.
children with cognitive and speech language disabilities, to kind of prime their thinking for the Lighthouse customers.
The video shouldn't be more than 30 seconds long.
Okay.
You don't want to be standing up on stage for like a long period of time, silent off to the side while people watch a video, right? You can follow up with a more beefed up video later. Do you have any sense of the quantified impact from these 13 schools and homes and 74 kids?
I can give some data. So for instance, children's speech is more complex, their language is more complex when they're telling a story.
Yeah, include that. I love your markers, blocks, books
Cool.
thing was awesome. Everyday play is a great earworm.
Okay.
On that slide, I would remove 74 children. It's
Okay.
far more impactful for you to say 13 schools.
Okay, cool.
Remove the 1 million from the Gary prize
Okay.
thing. That makes
Sure.
it seem like you
We
won
have
1 million.
Okay.
I'm still a little unclear from what you're presenting visually, and like you have this thing, but this thing is still a little disconnected. Going back to some of the feedback you got in House of Genius, I think a lot of people thought you were dealing with a robot. I didn't hear robot in this, but the idea of like you see the kid with the stuffed animal, but I think there needs to be a little bit of reveal about what it is you're doing technology. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
is this a curriculum?
Yeah.
Is this you know, are these your devices that are already smart? There needs to be something that shows sorry, that's,
No, that's my turn.
oh, that's yours. There needs to be something that shows, I think, a little bit of what the secret sauce is here.
Yep.
Okay.
That connects the dots, and then maybe calls that out to why that's important for some of these markets and segments that you're thinking about.
Uh-huh.
Be that early education, be that potential therapeutic uses, language, those kinds of things. You have great pictures of kids. I think giving that other visual connection of what your solution is doing to engage them is a really great opportunity in there. What were folks up wondering? What were some things that you're still kind of pondering? Go ahead, Jamie, and then I see Joyce here.
Lane, do you actually have a prototype that works? Can we see it? And like, can we see like it working in the presentation? Because I kept like thinking like, is it just a stuffed animal or does it actually like
Mhm.
work? Does it do something?
Yeah. I'll do that in the demo video.
Yeah, and
Thanks
I'd
for
love
that.
to see it.
Okay.
But I think to Tim's point, showing there's the smartphone component, and that's where all the intelligence is sitting, and that it can work on all the lowest, the lowest, most accessible, cheapest models of smartphone. Just goes to reinforce your point of how this is accessible for low-income, English as a second language students, the folks who typically get left out of the puzzle.
Joya, do you have any?
No, sorry.
Okay. What did folks like? What were some things that really stood out? Go ahead, Dave.
I liked your numbers slide where you had, the 13 schools and the 2 nations and stuff like that.
I like that it was photo-based, so I didn't have to read anything on the screen.
Your presence is excellent, Lane.
Yeah.
You've got great command of timing and pacing. A lot of you want to think about that even though Lane was taking some pauses, obviously to advance her slides, it never felt like she was umming or dropping off. There was a kind of continuation of that cadence. Jamie?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. You have like an amazing presence, and it totally just makes it seem like you own this, and that's really important. And I know that's really difficult to do.
Cody?
I think your ask is also really good. Like, it's very direct. I know exactly what you want from it.
Have logo examples instead of a list of characteristics,
That's a good idea.
because people don't know exactly 100% what that means, but if you're showing like CU, a hospital network, or Denver Pediatric Kids Hospital logo, like it makes it a lot more tangible and visceral for people. Same for any school systems, etc.
Okay.
I think there's a hook that you can still polish and develop with this, because that first 30 seconds is really crucial. And it's easy as a cohort to start to tune each other out, because we keep hearing so many elevator pitches, we know who's up there. There needs to be that little bit of, if you're grabbing our attention, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 times greater when it's an audience that hasn't seen this or heard that. And because you've got lots of cute kids, there's lots of kind of high emotional touch here, you can really leverage that in a way that's honest, that isn't pandering, but that really does hold that first 30 seconds. And maybe that's a story about the importance of language, or the vignette you shared with the House of Genius team. The fact that parents or adults will sometimes dispose of aspects and elements that children will otherwise continue in their storytelling process, as opposed to something that's being curated on the fly by an adult interaction. There's something there where I'd like to see you kind of continue to explore that essence of what MindScribe is that excites you and captures that aha moment.
I would, and I missed the first 30 seconds to a minute. My apologies, but did you have like pull quotes from teachers about the status quo in the classroom right now, and then pull quotes about their experience seeing and using MindScribe with their kids? I would consider including that, because that's what helps make the problem really tangible. You talk about it a lot, which is really great, but it always helps when you can, show a teacher's like frustration because there's not the tools to address these needs, and then how you have solved that equation and what a great experience, how easy it was for them, for them to use, because they're a crucial component in this picture too.
And building off of Kyle's point, Sean, Seth, who's the customer for MindScribe?
I would probably say teachers, but
Preschools and hospitals, and some parents.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was like teachers and preschools, like they're.
Okay, so there's a general agreement that it's probably preschools, teachers. If that's off, make sure you're drawing some boundaries. If that's only part of the pie, make sure you're introducing that application, because again, your audience at Demo Day is going to be a mix. It's going to be your friends, family, supporters. It's going to be representation of the university, mentors, and ideally, if there is an investor or somebody who might be able to be that lighthouse customer or next, there needs to be a clear sense of it's doing this, it's valuable because, and for whom or for what that can be directly applied.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable to talk about what you know and what you kind of have done. A big part of Catalyze, especially over this next step, you've been doing that segmentation, that customer discovery, be thinking kind of that big picture, what's next. And again, I can call on you, Lane, because you did the House of Genius stuff. You showed 3 kind of product paths. You have the device and the application there, you have the book, and then this potential for curriculum or other. And that's all stuff that may be relevant in what this 5 minutes represents. And because you ended just shy of 3 minutes, you've got 2 whole minutes of story that you can put together in there.
Yeah.
Cool, we're at time, so I want to get Ed board up. Anybody have any last thoughts or comments for Lane?
3 minutes makes me think that you're missing out on big chunks of the story.
Sure.
Go ahead, Sean.
one thing that could be kind of cool is if you take, since you work with so many children, if you take a bit more of a personal touch with that catch, like when you show the picture, talk about the story and why it's relevant, why it's impactful to the child, to the teacher, to the parent. If you have like a good story to put in there, it might make that catch.
Yeah, I think it has.